A controversial arrest. Durov detained in France. The world watched in August 2024 as Pavel Durov, the enigmatic founder of Telegram, was arrested in France. Durov, known for his staunch advocacy for privacy and free speech, found himself at the center of a legal firestorm. French authorities accused Telegram of facilitating criminal activity by providing a platform for illegal content and communications. The arrest sent shockwaves through the tech community and beyond, raising profound questions about the balance between digital freedom and security. Durov's arrest ignited a global debate. Was he a protector of free speech or an enabler of criminal behavior? The answer, as with most complex issues, was far from clear-cut. Durov's supporters rallied behind him, hailing him as a champion of digital rights in an era of increasing surveillance. His critics, however, argued that Telegram had become a haven for criminals and terrorists, its encrypted messaging system shielding illegal activities from law enforcement. The arrest of Durov, a Russian exile who had previously clashed with the Kremlin, took on geopolitical dimensions. Some speculated that the charges against him were politically motivated, a way for a powerful government to silence a vocal critic. Others saw it as a legitimate attempt to hold a tech giant accountable for the content shared on its platform. Durov's arrest was not merely a legal case, it was a flashpoint in a much larger battle. It highlighted the growing tension between governments seeking to regulate the digital sphere and individuals demanding privacy and freedom of expression online. The outcome of Durov's case, many believed, would have far-reaching consequences, setting a precedent for how tech companies operate and the extent to which governments can control the flow of information in the digital age. At the heart of the case against Telegram was the delicate balance between protecting free speech and preventing criminal activity. Telegram, with its end-to-end encryption and focus on user privacy, had become a popular platform for activists, journalists, and dissidents living under repressive regimes. But its features also attracted those seeking to operate outside the law, using the app to plan and coordinate illegal activities.
French authorities alleged that Telegram had become a hotbed of criminal activity, citing evidence of drug trafficking, arms dealing, and even terrorism being facilitated through the platform. They argued that Telegram's encryption, while intended to protect user privacy, had created a safe haven for criminals, allowing them to communicate and operate with impunity.
Durov and his legal team countered that Telegram was committed to combating illegal activity on its platform. They pointed to the company's efforts to remove terrorist content and cooperate with law enforcement agencies in cases involving imminent threats of violence. However, they maintained that Telegram would not compromise its users' privacy by providing backdoor access to encrypted messages or weakening its encryption protocols. The case against Telegram raised fundamental questions about the role of technology companies in policing content and behavior on their platforms. Should tech companies be held responsible for the illegal activities of their users? Where is the line between facilitating free speech and enabling criminal behavior? These were complex questions with no easy answers, and the outcome of Durov's case had the potential to reshape the relationship between tech companies, governments, and users in the digital age. Pavel Durov, the enigmatic figure at the center of the controversy, was a complex and polarizing individual. Born in Russia, he had a history of clashing with authorities, first with the Russian government over his creation of the social media platform vKontakte, and later with the French government over Telegram.
Durov styled himself as a champion of privacy and freedom of expression. He believed that individuals had the right to communicate securely and privately, free from government surveillance and censorship. He saw Telegram as a tool to empower individuals and protect them from the encroaching reach of authoritarian regimes.
Critics, however, painted a different picture of Durov. They accused him of being more interested in protecting criminals and terrorists than upholding the law. They argued that his unwavering commitment to privacy had blinded him to the real-world harms that were being facilitated on his platform. Durov's supporters countered that his commitment to privacy was absolute and unwavering. They argued that he refused to compromise his principles, even in the face of intense pressure from governments. They saw him as a visionary leader who understood the importance of protecting digital rights in an increasingly interconnected world. Whether hailed as a hero or vilified as a villain, Durov's actions had thrust him onto the global stage. He had become a symbol of the ongoing battle for control of the internet, a battle that pitted individual liberty against national security, privacy against surveillance, and freedom of expression against the need to protect society from harm. Section 4. A divided world reacts support and criticism for Durov. The arrest of Pavel Durov and the charges leveled against Telegram sent shockwaves throughout the world, sparking a wave of reactions from governments, organizations, and individuals.
The case became a lightning rod for debate, dividing public opinion and highlighting the complex and often contradictory views on digital privacy, free speech, and the role of technology in society.
Human rights organizations and free speech advocates rallied to Durov's defense, arguing that the charges against him were a dangerous escalation in the fight against encryption and online privacy.
They argued that Telegram's encryption was essential for protecting journalists, activists, and whistleblowers, particularly those living under repressive regimes. They warned that weakening encryption would have a chilling effect on free speech and could put lives at risk.
Law enforcement agencies and governments, on the other hand, expressed concerns about the use of encrypted platforms by criminals and terrorists.
They argued that encryption hindered their ability to investigate crimes, gather evidence, and prevent terrorist attacks. They called for greater cooperation from tech companies in providing access to encrypted communications, arguing that such access was essential for national security.
The public, too, was divided. Some applauded Durov for standing up for privacy and free speech, while others criticized him for creating a platform that could be used to facilitate illegal activity.
The debate often fell along ideological lines, with those who valued privacy and individual liberty siding with Durov, while those who prioritized security and law enforcement tended to support the actions of the French authorities.
The case of Pavel Durov and Telegram highlighted the growing tension between competing values in the digital age. It forced a global conversation about the delicate balance between security and freedom, privacy and transparency, and the role of technology in shaping the future of society. Section 5. The battle lines are drawn, defining the responsibilities of tech giants. The Durov case brought to the forefront a critical debate about the responsibilities of tech companies in the digital age. As tech giants like Telegram amassed unprecedented power and influence, governments and citizens grappled with how to hold these companies accountable for the content and activities that flourished on their platforms. One side of the debate argued that tech companies had a moral and social obligation to prevent their platforms from being used for illegal activities. They argued that these companies had a responsibility to proactively monitor content, remove harmful or illegal material, and cooperate with law enforcement investigations. They contended that the vast reach and resources of these tech giants came with a responsibility to protect users and society from harm. The opposing side argued that tech companies should not be in the business of policing content or acting as arbiters of truth. They maintained that these companies should not be held liable for the actions of their users, just as telephone companies are not held responsible for the content of phone conversations. They argued that excessive content moderation could lead to censorship and stifle free speech, particularly for marginalized or dissenting voices. Caught in the middle of this debate were the tech companies themselves. Many argued that they were committed to combating illegal activity on their platforms, pointing to their efforts to remove terrorist content, combat hate speech, and prevent the spread of misinformation. However, they also expressed concerns about the practical and ethical challenges of content moderation, arguing that it was impossible to police every piece of content on their platforms without infringing on user privacy and free speech. The Durov case underscored the need for a nuanced and informed discussion about the role and responsibilities of tech companies in the 21st century. It highlighted the need for clear legal frameworks, ethical guidelines, and collaborative efforts between governments, tech companies, and civil society to address the challenges posed by the rapid evolution of technology and its impact on society.